Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? This looks like the great distribution balance of August, huh? Hey, but are getting used to early mornings again? Good, good. Hey, Marcus. Ian. Dave, what's going on? How are you? And welcome to the folks on YouTube. Good to see you. As we go into a slow Thursday, I think we have employment numbers today, so the market's it's a bit quiet. This is check this out. If I go and I throw in So the way this market profile works for folks who don't know, um, what it does is it separates every session, right? But thanks, Sergio. What it does is it shows this is tonight's Globex or overnight session, and all of these are regular trading hours, okay? But you can go and show all the evening profiles, right? If you do that, check this out. I mean, there's a serious distribution balance going on here, right? Um, it's actually lasting longer than I thought it would. There's a couple of things from this day. You know, this is the day that threw everything off of balance, and we ended up getting some pretty large short positions in these profiles here, here. Now we filled some of them here, here, and here, but you can see that we're still this 7760 area. If I go and I extrapolate this out, you'll see it's right at the top, sorry, at the bottom of this distribution. Now, why is that important? I know this is kind of nitpicky and it's a market profile thing, so bear with me, but I want to show you guys something. Look at the time spent and the volume traded under 7760. Okay? Kind of important. Check this out. So, this level here is 7760, right? Well, can I make that any bigger? Sorry. Right, so this level here is 7760. Look at the time spent above it versus these little liquidations underneath it. We haven't spent that much time underneath it. Most of the volume is above 60. So that is something to be aware of. The other thing that you should be aware of, okay, is look at the lows on these last 4 sessions. Okay. After a liquidation, then the lows start getting higher, right? Something to be aware of. What I'm saying and what I'm preparing you guys, trying to prepare you, if we don't get liquidation and stay under 52, right? This thing could do one of these. So what I'm saying is for my friends who are positioned short, if you are positioned short, your danger zone is 77.97. Okay? You can put your stop wherever you want because you're larger traders, right? And you can add, trade around, whatever you want to do. But one thing is, if this market going into Friday, because you know how they love to mark up markets before a weekend. If this thing goes and starts to show strength on a Friday, if we accept above 77.97, just remember that all of the inventory is here. And the general business is to take that and go sell it up here. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd like to see some more liquidation down here because we have gaps to fill. You know, there's a big gap here. There's a little gap here, right? The structure is horrible. It looks like a giraffe walking backwards up a ladder, but it's still really hard to position short. So that's why the look below and fail trade works really nicely, especially on longer time frames because this market is created to never really stay down for that long. That's just, and I'll go into that later. Let's go see what we can do tonight. Sorry, I still sound pretty plugged up, so you'll have to forgive the old voice. What's up, Alexander? Yeah, I'm out my first cup of coffee here too. Okay, so I've did a 66 half to 71 and 3/4 balance, and put in controls here. Overnight. Oh, sorry. Overnight inventory is long because of the bulk of the trading is above yesterday's close. So as London opens, we're already starting to correct a little bit. Let's see if we can get a correction back into, this is our cost basis. Okay. It's been, I was just going to say, Dave, it's been really warm here in the UK for the last 3 days. So this is our last day of heat before temperatures return to normal. What else? What else are we doing? Suppose if I'm going to trade, I should open up my trading software. Okie dokie. Alrighty. Well, not much going on here, is there? Let's take a look at the half-hour chart, and we're just squarely in this big blue belt, cost basis. and we keep going in and out of it. You know, we trade in, we look above, we look below, come back into it. So we're building out a ton of volume between 77.61 and 83. And right now, that's pretty much it right now. There's not much to report, you know. Oh, the other thing is they raised margins tonight, so probably explains a little bit why it's so slow. So when it's like this, you really want to take the trades, these kind of look below and fail trades. They're really limit your trading. If you're a fast trader, you can use the levels, you know, and do the look below and fail of the middle of these zones. But for newer traders, I would recommend just sticking to the edges because that's where you get the best deal, the best discount, and the best follow through, right? That's why we advocate trading from the edge because that's where you get the best follow through. Sometimes it makes it pretty darn boring, but I'd rather be bored than lose money. So, you guys in the room have any questions? If anybody taking any trades, what's going on, you guys? You guys awake? Hey, Moran, what's going on? Where's Raj? Oh, you got the grandson today? Oh, it's good. Just chill out, enjoy the summer. Hey, Redcom, it's going good. Slow, man. Slow morning. Slow morning in 7-Eleven. Oh, let's see. London's going to open in a couple of minutes here. And if London opens and it's really, really slow and you guys don't want to sit around, we'll do a quick session this morning. Pretty, pretty stuck here. Got a little distribution. We're taking our product from the 60s and we're selling it up here in the 76s. Other than that, boy, it's the lazy days of summer, right? Hey, Raj, what's up? How you doing? So yeah, whatever you trade, if it's like, look at the SPY. That's a distribution balance. There's your gaps, you know, and until we break these lower levels, you're not going to get any liquidation. So we're going to open. Corey Clark. Hey, how you doing? This is the futures, my friend. Welcome to our stream. Yeah, this is the S&P E-mini futures. I was just showing the SPY ETF, which isn't open right now. Look below and fill in oil. Okay, London's opening. Let's see what it does. Kind of a slow open. Give me just 1 second, Redcom. The look below and fail is a great trade in markets where there's limited supply. Always remember that. So in an oil market, where the heck is my CL chart? Let's just give this thing a couple of minutes, Redcom, and then I'll go take a look and pull up an oil chart. Now, equities, S&P, anywhere where the supply is restricted, right? Yeah. Where supply is restricted, the look below and fail works great. Also, it works great in an uptrend when the market does a little pullback. You can buy that, and the market will pop higher. That works nice. Um, I've actually never traded oil. I've drilled for oil. I've financed oil companies and I've ran the stock of oil companies, but I've actually never traded oil. But the look below and fail works in pretty much every market because it's really based on the oldest trade in the book, which is when supply runs out, price goes up. Do I have an oil chart on here? I don't. Damn it. I thought I had a CL chart. I'll have to do up an oil chart. But yeah, definitely the look below and fail. It works well. Here was a good example on the old daily in oil when it did the, you know, like here's a big look below and here's a fail. So you would be buying over 82 half, stop underneath those candles, and then looking for 91 as a target. So the trade does work. You just have to be careful in markets that are very news sensitive, you know? So I've never traded oil, so I don't know how thin or how thick the order book is, that kind of thing, right? Oh, okay. Chart replay? Sure. So the chart replay feature Dave's talking about is if you're having trouble seeing the price action, what I recommend doing, like say you wanted to go and zero in and look at this little piece of action if you were looking for a trade. Let's wait this out and see if we can take out the 72s. This software is really, really good because you get to rewind charts, right? Corey, if you're doing well trading micro gold, I would stick to trading micro gold and I would not diversify instruments. Diversification is great in investing. In trading, what you really want to focus on, my friend, is focus. So if gold is treating you well and you understand how the market works, you're good at figuring out the order flow, you have, a decent win rate in gold, I would just stick to gold. Like for myself, I only trade the ES. I don't trade anything else because I don't have to, right? The ES is a market that I can scale up. I can easily trade. I usually trade 3 to 8 contracts on the mini in the in the in the ES market. I always start the day trading micro just to make sure my brain's working. So if I lose money, I don't lose too much. Then I switch to the mini if I'm on the ball. But the thing about the ES is I can trade up to 20, 50 contracts for my clients and it's still liquid enough, right? So it's a market. And then if I wanted to scale up on that, I could scale more, right? I can scale and trade 100, 200 E-minis, right? For the client accounts that are larger, right? So it's a nice liquid market. So if you want a market to grow with you, I would definitely learn how to trade the ES. Gold, I'm not really sure about, but if you're really good at gold, and let's say, put it to you this way, if you're paying your rent trading gold, if you're paying your bills trading gold, and you're not losing money when you have drawdowns, just stick with it. Learning to trade a new market and trading multiple markets is very difficult. I'm a true believer in focus on one thing, learn it and know it inside and out. Hope that helps. I notice a lot of new traders and a lot of, retail traders, they'll trade. I trade gold, I trade NQ, I trade silver, I trade ES. Well, are you profitable in all of them? No, just stick to one. I like simplicity because like what if I tell you like I've got like my best trader in my mentoring my program, my 2 or 3 best guys and ladies, sorry, they're doing about 80 to 100,000 a month trading ES. My best guy last year made $1 million, right? Retail, okay? And so it's scalable, right? You can do 80, 100 grand a month trading ES. It's very not easy, but you can do 4 or 5 grand a day, right? So if you just focus on that and build your skill using the micro, you can build a beautiful foundation. Once you do that, then you can maybe diversify. But I'm a really big believer in simplicity and focus. It'll also save you, it's less stressful. Because I come in and I look at the ES market right now and I've been trading it for since 2012 and it took me years to figure it out. But once you figure it out, and what I do is I teach a simple way to trade, in our room at Trading Syndicate. So I know when to leave it alone. Like right now, I haven't taken a trade yet because I don't see any opportunity at my edge. What I'd love is a look below and fail of 71, right? Which the trade I would be looking for is for the market to come down, go under 71, do this, come back up so I could buy this, put my stop here, and then sell into the strength, right? I love that rotation. Right now, it's not doing that. You can see really clearly that there is a bid right here. You see that bid? The bottom of the candles are where the sellers stop selling. The top of the candles is where they initiate. So if you look at the ES right now, it's got a really tiny range for the last few minutes. That you don't want to trade that, right? So immediately, go get another coffee, chill out, wait for better trading conditions, right? Because you don't want to be stuck in a trade for like an hour, right? If you are long here, for example, say you went long, so you're long 75, 74 half. Here at 76, there's going to be a seller and there's going to be a seller up here. So you can manage your expectations, right? But you can see now that the seller has moved down here, you know? That way you really know the battlefield, right? Before you enter a trade, you should always know your exit. So if I was long 75 and this thing broke here, there's no reason for me to be in the trade, right? So all our stops are based on structure. Once you understand that, then you can take trades that make sense, right? So if a trade doesn't make sense, if the range is too small, if I'm going to be stuck in it for half an hour, right? You can enter at VWAP. If VWAP is nice and flat, that's cool. But when VWAP goes like this or like this, leave it alone. Know what I mean? At this time of night, it's nice and quiet. You probably could take nice trades off of VWAP, right? If you're entering too early, what you should do, reach out. I think I've spoken to you before, Corey. If you want, come check out our room. We're giving away 10 free prop accounts this week. And we'll teach you how to do it. I entered trades too early as well. Yeah. Oh, it could be another Corey. I used to know our Corey years ago, but he had, I think he lived in like Kansas and he had like a lifted 4x4 truck. Different Corey. Sorry. Our trading room is tradingsyndicate.org, and my mission is to teach people how to do this just using simple common sense and how the business works. So no indicators, no expensive software. If you have the ability to draw a straight line and pay attention, I can help you, right? And the biggest thing for retail is knowing when not to trade, right? That, because when you do business when you're not supposed to do business or when the market's not set up for you to do business, it's frustrating. You lose money, and then you get into these cycles of, emotional trading, and we don't want that. We want you guys to be, just to come make your money, go and enjoy your life, right? Does anybody else have any other questions? I'll wrap this up a little early tonight. Anything else you want to look at while I'm here? Huh, it's choppy. It's really slow. Yeah. Too bad. I wanted to buy SpaceX at $80. No such luck yet. Yeah. So remember, we at Trading Secret, we really, really want to just make sure that we help you just make money. That's really what we want to do. Yeah, this is pretty slow. Oh, the question you DM'd me? Okay, hang on a second. If a wick is time, can you say that when a wick is showing at the downside, it is a very large, eager buyer market maker? Let's take a look, Moran. Let's try and find a big wick. Do you mean like here, Moran? This here? Okay. So what that is a big sell order comes in and pushes price down. Okay. And then once that sell order is completed, the market pops right back up. So what happens, the mechanics of this is, say, for example, say that you and I are selling at this level, Moran, right? We're both selling at here. And then you lower your price. And then I lower my price. And then you lower your price, right? To capture the buying. As a large trader, if I see that there are some orders down here, some size buyers, I will go and I'll hit those buyers really quickly. When those orders are done, the market will pop back up. So that's why you get those large wicks. If the wick happens to the upside, that means there were large buy orders. They got filled very quickly and the price comes back down. So that's what I mean by time. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just one large set of sell orders or one big sell order that takes the market underneath and then boom, right? So actually, Badir, it's not to tease the bid at all. It's a large trader getting out of a position and another trader taking advantage of that, getting some cheap position, and by here that trader is gone. So that's the actual mechanics of the order flow, right? Your second part is true, right? That lower prices do attract buyers, but for this particular candle, what it is that there are a set of sell orders that complete and then pop back up. And that's why you get that big wick. It's just a time thing. Right. We'll be seeing a lot more of that as the market keeps trading because into the fall, because it will be a very sort of volatile, speculative fall. So the thing to remember with those big wicks is try not to get sucked into buying them or shorting them. Trade your edge and stick to your edge. Don't try and trade one specific candle because odds are you're not going to be fast enough to do so. Yeah, it's okay. And there's nothing, I mean, those aren't A plus setup trades, right? Anything else? Okay, guys, I will shut her down. Have a great morning. We will see you at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Sorry it's been a bit of a boring session, but hey, that's just the business, right? Have a great morning and enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in a few hours. Thanks, folks. Bye for now. Appreciate you guys being with me and sticking with me when it's boring. We'll see you in a few hours. Bye for now.